guys, and welcome back to Boards, Bricks and Battlefields and yet another Tide of Iron playthrough video. So we have completed the core game and now we're doing the website exclusive scenarios, and we have a total of 5 of those. 4 from Fantasy Flight Games and 1 from 1A Games, who was the second publisher who published Tide of Iron under a license. And this is the third out of those 5, and the third out of those 4 Fantasy Flight Games scenarios, and this one is called Geneva Convention. And I gotta say, I haven't played it. Most of the times I'll play the scenarios once or twice before doing a video, but this one I haven't. And it seems to me like a very strange scenario. I'm wondering if it's gonna be possible for one side to win or not. Basically, we have 6 turns. During the status phase of the last turn, we have 2 bridges. And for controlling a bridge, you will receive 5, I believe it's 5 or 6 victory points. We're going to read more specifically later how many victory points you get for everything. But it's 5 or 6 victory points to hold the bridge. So I just kind of feel like it's unlikely for one side to hold both bridges, because they're just, if they were in the middle, maybe, but they're so far off the sides. Now, the Germans can score victory points in one more way, and the Americans can't. And the way the Germans can score victory points, that's 2 ways. The Americans have the artillery deck 2. If they use an artillery card, the Germans get 2 VP. On top of that, we have a POW camp here. These are all American units which can't be controlled by anyone. And if the artillery should drift into the POW camp and destroy a building or kill a squad, the German will also receive VP. Now, I find this rule very strange, because why in the world would the US player decide to use artillery? Artillery in a normal fight, I might not even want to spend my command points on that if I have a choice. Just simply because I think that artillery is not so strong. Usually I would spend my command points on something else if I had another deck, and we do. We have the command deck 1, which we can use without having to pay any command points, or sorry, which we can use as an alternative to paying our command points. So just very strange, that ruling set. The last thing that I think is strange with this map is the POW camp itself. First of all, I think it's a little bit of a hassle to set up. You have to use, I think that's 14 bases with 1 standard infantry in each. It just adds time to set up with all those razor wire and buildings. And I don't see any building unit ever going into this map here. So this could just have been removed, these 3 maps, and it could have been a 6 map panel scenario. And one of the strange rules is that if line of sight is ever traced through the POW camp, the German, for some reason, will receive +2 to cover. So I don't see that really as happening, because we got the Americans starting over here, and then we have the Germans who can start on almost the whole map. And maybe if we had a American coming in here, and we had a German specifically in this one, because the other hexes are blocked by buildings, or this one, if the Americans were to fire, they would get +2 cover. But it's just so unlikely for that to happen. It just seems like a unnecessary thing to add to the scenario. But yeah, we're gonna start playing sometimes before I see a scenario, before I play it, I should say. I can feel that, oh well, this is strange, but then when I start playing, it makes more sense. So perhaps these are some of the rules that seem strange in the beginning, but are going to feel more natural when we get going. Last thing I just want to add is the spawning points, which I also find odd. The Americans can spawn basically in the left flank here, and they have about 2 hexes up where they can spawn. The Germans can spawn on any hex in this map panel, this, and finally this. So they can spawn pretty much all over the map, besides, I would say, 8A. They can't spawn on 8A, but of course they can use the half hexes here. So yeah, I think it's just It's going to be really tough for the Americans. They don't really have a lot of infantry, and we have Germans starting with bazookas real close. All of these guys are bazooka squads. Many of them are concealed. 4 of them are concealed, 4 out of 6. So we're going to see if it's possible. I think everything is going to be for what happens in first round. If the Shermans manage to take out most of these bazooka squads, or I should say Panzerschrecks or Panzerfaust squads, they'll probably have a chance of winning. But if the Germans manage to take out enough Shermans, it's probably going to be very hard for the Americans. We're not going to see any reinforcements. Okay, so before we start playing, let's go through all of the scenario details. So again, this is the Geneva Convention map, and we have some historical background here. April 29th, 1945. While pushing through Nazi Germany, the 14th Armored Division sent forward Combat Command A to capture the bridges around Moosburg, crossing the Amper and Isar rivers. As CCA neared their objectives, they learned of a massive POW camp in Moosburg, Stalag VIIA. Orders came down to liberate the camp while securing the bridges. So here we have our objective. At the end of turn 6, each side gains 5 victory points for each bridge that they control. So we have two bridges here. The Germans may also score VP when Americans use artillery. See special rules. The side with the most victory points at the end of round 6 wins. So that's the most likely scenario that I see, that we have two areas, each giving 5 VP, and it's just going to be 1 German control and 1 American control. But we'll see what happens. And then we have some more information here. Times reported the 14th Armored Division liberated 110,000 Allied prisoners of war instead of the 27,000 prisoners previously reported. This was Germany's largest prisoner of war camp. And then we have the American setup. So for Division 1, which is the dark green one, we have 3 squads. And it's going to be the same for Division 2. They also have 3 squads. And they actually have exactly the same spawning. They have 10 regular infantry each, 2 officers each. So no elite, no heavy weapon teams. And then both of them have 3 Sherman tanks each and 3 half tracks each. So my spawning area is going to be basically, I can spawn in all of these hexes which are behind the water. So all of these hexes are able to spawn. So I put the blunt of my forces here. I put some of my infantry in these forests to kind of be able to fight back against the Germans. I would have put more into the forest if it wasn't for the fact that the Germans have 4 mortars units divided in 2 squads. So I don't want to bunch up my infantry, because that way the mortars are just going to open up on them and rout them. So that's why I spread them out like that. Then I put all of my armor together. I'm just going to try to take out all of those bazooka squads or Panzerfaust squads and move on to the objective. We start with 3 strategy cards. We have the strategy decks, command deck 1 and artillery deck 2. For the Germans, we have a lot more units in our divisions, and we have almost the same kind of units. Division 1 and 2, both of them have 8 squad bases each. Division 1 is, of course, the darker gray. Both of them have regular infantry. Division 1 has 14, Division 2 has 18. Division 1 has 8 elite infantry, and Division 2 has 4 elite infantry. Then both of the divisions have 2 mortars each, 2 machine guns each, 3 Panzerschreck tokens or 80 anti-tank tokens, and 2 concealed marker tokens. So I've got my mortars back here. I got a machine gun here in the cover of the forest, 1 here who is in an entrenchment. Then we have mortars here, and here we have 3 entrenchments. So I've gone ahead and put 2 of my machine guns here, who are gonna cover that bridge with opportunity fire, of course. So yeah, there's a lot of entrenchments. There's 1 here too, which I'm currently not using. And then we have all of these anti-tank squads. We have, all of them have 1 officer, or let's see, this one, and this one. So half of them have an officer in the squadron, and they're in an entrenchment here, by the way, and then they are hidden. So it's hidden markers should actually shouldn't be standing on them, it should be next to them. So let me do that so you can clearly see who is concealed and who is not. So that's a problem for the Americans, as they're not going to be able to engage the concealed ones until they have fired. So Germans also start with 3 strategy cards. They have the ground support deck 1 and morale deck 1. And then they also have the desperate defenders card, which we saw in the last scenario, which makes them able to fire even if they're pinned, or I should say suppressed. And like I said, they have such a big spawn. They can spawn in any hex on map 1A, 3A, 4A, 6A, even 7B. So let's go ahead and look at our scenario details. We are going to have 6 rounds. Initiative starts with the Americans. We have 3 actions per turn. So this is the POW camp, and on the map detail screen, they're represented by yellow hexes, but everything, including the barbed wire, is the POW camp. So the German player, he deploys 2 bases, each containing 1 regular American infantry in each clear hex of the POW camp. These represent the POWs and are not part of either force. So we have the special rules here, and there's a lot of them. Each time the American use an artillery strategy card, the Germans score 2 VP. The German player scores only for artillery cards which successfully make contact. So, of course, the American is not going to use an artillery card. That would be very stupid. When an artillery card hits, kill all POW units in that hex. The German player scores 2 VP for each POW killed in this manner. If the final target hex is a building hex inside a POW camp, the Germans score an additional VP, in addition to any POWs killed. So, I mean, it's not very likely that they would be killed, but let's say that I would target this guy with artillery. It could drift into the POW camp and kill them. So, any direct fire, not mortar or artillery, against a German unit whose line of sight must be traced through the POW camp gains +2 cover. Again, I see this as very unlikely to happen. And then we have this rule which says neither side may enter the POW camp. So no one can even go inside into these barbed wire. It's just not possible. So I don't understand why it's included. And last rule, heavy vehicles cannot end their movement on a bridge. If they are forced to end their movement on a bridge, instead move them back to the last legal hex that they were in or moved through. So that means I cannot take the bridges with my tanks, as they are the only heavy vehicles in this scenario. Last thing we have here is the terrain features. The streams are shallow. So the streams are going to be these ones and these ones. And shallow streams, if you don't remember, I will tell you, they will be crossable by both type of units. Infantry will pay 2 movement points to cross, and vehicles will pay 4 movement points to cross a shallow river. And let me see how long I've recorded. I've recorded for almost 15 minutes, but now we are ready to go. And guys, as always, I just want to give you the background to the whole thing and explain the setup, because if you just get into the game, it might be hard to understand why some forces are there and what's going on. So that's why I do this introduction every video, every playthrough video, so you kind of have an idea of what's going on. But you're free to watch that or not watch that. If you're not interested, you just want to see gameplay, you skip on ahead. You might know the scenario from before, and then you can just go ahead and skip on until I start playing. Okay, so this time we're not going to forget to draw cards first. So for the Germans, I am going to draw 2 ground support cards and 1 morale card. So we draw anti-air support, sniper attack, and take down the beast. And for the Americans, of course, we're not going to draw any artillery cards. We go all command deck. So we have critical objective, we have surprise assault, and we have another critical objective. All of these can be purchased during the command phase. As always, I will explain the cards further if I decide to purchase them, so we don't waste any time. Okay, so initiative starts with the Americans. Of course, I want to kill these Panzerfaust squads, but I currently can't because these guys are concealed. I have two guys here who I can hit, so I am going to attempt to do so. Let's see here. I think I could open up on them. So the range for the Shermans against infantry is 5 and the firepower is 6. So I could do 2 attacks here with basically using a crap load of units just to take these guys out. So I'll activate this first Sherman here, and he will get, let's see here, what did I say? He's going to get 6 dice against this squad. So he's going to get 2 in cover since he is in a forest or a woods. So the question is, how many dice do I think I need to kill him? I will hit on a 5 or a 6. So each die has a 30% chance of succeeding. So I kind of 3 dice would be kind of good for 1 kill. So 6 dice, that's 2 kills. So let's go ahead and use fire support by activating these guys. So that's going to be 12 dice. So now they will get 2 defense. So I am going to activate these half tracks to get 4 more dice. One thing we're going to do before is I did forget to put out the opportunity fire. And of course the Germans want to put all of their machine guns in opportunity fire. So now let's go ahead and fire. Let's see if I can find a good place. There's a good place. So again, we will have 6 dice for the Sherman that leads the attack, and then additional 3 and 3 for the Shermans that support that attack. And then we have 2 half tracks. So let's see here which one I want to use, by the way. They have a range of 4, I believe. Where's the half track? He has a range of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'll use these half tracks in the back instead. 2, 3, 4, 5. So these 2 support, and they have a fire attack value of 4, so they will give 2 dice each. So my total here is 12, 13, 14, 16 dice. So it's it could be enough, but it could also be not enough. We're about to find out. Let's start fire. We fire at this squad. That's 4 standard infantry with a AT specialization, and they're in a woods hex. Okay, it's looking pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have killed them even if they manage to roll 2 defense. We'll roll the defense just for fun. And they don't manage to roll any defense, so they are now killed. Okay, so I will do the same thing here with the next unit. So I will activate this Sherman back here, who stands here, and he will use supporting fire from these 2 Shermans. And then we will also use supporting fire from these 2 half tracks. So we roll the same amount of dice, which should be, if I remember correctly, 16. And we target this squad, which is not concealed. And we roll. This time it's not looking good. We scored 1 hit. So you see it can go either way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, 16 dice, and we got 1 hit. And they roll 1 block, so we do no damage. That's incredible. Firing with that, we fired with 3 Shermans and 2 half tracks, and we still got that really bad score. Okay, so I kind of feel like I have to try again. So I'll fire with my last order here. I am going to fire with the half track. he will get 4 dice. He will use the support of this squad, getting 2 more dice. He will use the support of this squad. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's legal. He gets 2 more dice. Let's see about this squad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's too far away. I don't want to use long range fire, but this guy can support 1, 2, 3. So he will support. He will give 2 more dice. And I think that's it, because these guys, let's see here, we use the half tracks. We have these infantry soldiers left. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3. I might want to use that squad. So that's 2 more dice. And let's see here. This squad is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he's too far away. So we have 4 from the first, 2 from the other half track, 2 from those infantry, 2 from those. Okay, that's correct. So we have 5. This time we have 10. We have 12 dice. So far less than 16, but who knows? Maybe. Let's go ahead and roll. And we score 1, 2, 3. We score 4 hits. So unless they roll a defense now, they're killed. And yeah, they don't manage to roll a defense. That's very good news, because I just used so many units for those attacks that it would have been really bad if I would not have hit. Now, that's my last action. So we go now over to the Germans. So they have choice to make here. Do they want to fire with the concealed units now, or what do they want to do? I will fire with the first squad here, and he then loses his concealment, and he's going to fire at the first Sherman. So he will fire with 4 plus 3 dice, so that's a total of 7. Let's get rid of some of these dice here. And I'm going to put my order markers here so I remember how many I've ordered. So he fires and he hits with 3 dice. The Sherman gets to roll 4 defensive dice because of its 4 armor value. And he scores 1 defense. So that Sherman is now lightly damaged. And second action, we're going to activate this squad. He will also fire. He will fire at the same Sherman. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he's within range. They will have a range of 3 with AT. So he is also going to fire 7 dice. And he manages to score 2 hits. The Sherman will now have 3 defense since he's lightly damaged. And he rolls 1 defense. So, so he got 2 hits. Yeah, so he's going to go up to heavily damaged now. Okay, and that's the second action. And for our third action, I'm going to take this squad and move 1, 2, 3, 4 to take the bridge. So he loses his concealment now since he's in the open. And that's my third action. So we got the Americans again. And I have 2 units I haven't ordered. And it's this unit. And then it's this unit. So I will attack with him. The guy's on the bridge. He's going to attack with 4 dice. I don't want to move forward since I have these machine guns covering that bridge. So we're all 4 dice. We score 3 hits. They will have 1 defense since they are on a bridge. And they don't manage to defend. So they take 3 hits. That's 3 standard infantry and an officer. And then we activate this infantry unit. And he fires also 4 dice on that squad who are in the open. And they score 2 hits. So it's an automatic kill now because they only get 1 defense. They manage to defend. They take 1 hit, but there's just 1 guy left. So that's the third squad now that's killed by the Americans. So I think this is looking now like it's going to be... it's probably going to be the Americans that's going to take this home. I believe I've activated every unit. Let me double check. Yes, sir. Okay, so the Americans now pass, and that means the Germans are going to get to act with all of their units, and that's going to be it. So I am going to move this concealed unit down here. And that's going to be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so he can't do movement and fires. It's just a regular movement. I am going to move this guy forward. Before I do so, I'm just going to mark these points as being captured as these units started on those points. So he's going to move up. Let's see where I want him. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. And this guy is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. And not sure where this fella comes from. I want to move them all up. So 1, 2, 3, and then into the entrenchment 4. And this guy is going to move 1, 2. And then I will attack with both of my mortars. So I'll start with this squad. It is going to attack. Let's see here. I need to take care of... I think the tanks is going to be my major problem here. So the mortars are going to attack with an area attack. Let's see here. I'll do these 2 tanks who are in hex here with an infantry. And they are going to attack an area attack, but not a suppressive attack, so a normal attack. And let's see, this squad is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So unfortunately they're at long range. So I'll do one attack with them first, a normal attack with 4 dice against this squad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away. And they score 3 hits. So first of all, the infantry are not going to get any defense. So they lose 3 guys, and they are standard infantry, an officer remains. And that's the first kill of the Germans. And then the tanks get to roll defensive dice. So again, we have 3 hits. The first Sherman rolls for defense, and he scores no defense, so he becomes heavily damaged. And then second Sherman rolls 4 defense dice, and he scores 1 defense, so it's 2 hits, so he becomes lightly damaged. And then we have the next mortar who is going to fire, and he fires at... he's going to fire at the same hex, but he will fire only 2 dice. He will fire 4, but he will only hit on a roll of 6 since he is so far away. He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's a long range attack. He only hits on a 6. So he scores 2 hits, 2 6s. So that's very good for Germans. So this squad is killed. That's the first whole squad killed by the Germans. And then he will roll defensive dice for the Americans. They roll 3 each. We start with the heavily damaged one. And he rolls no defense, so that Sherman is killed. So a very effective mortar attack, I gotta say, taking out Shermans. And next guy, he rolls 1 defense, so it's 2 damage. So it goes from from lightly damaged to heavily damaged. And that, my friends, is the end of the first action phase. We are now going to move on to the command phase. So we determine control over the objectives, and nothing is captured in this turn. We receive command points, and the Americans do not receive any command points. The Germans will receive a total of 6 command points. And they are not going to spend any on initiative. And they only have, let's see, take down the beast could be very useful. So when combining fire against a heavy vehicle, you may discard this card to gain 3 additional firepower. So they will spend 1 command purchasing that card. And other 2 are action phase cards. So that's going to be the sniper and anti-air support. Anti-air support on this map is just going to remove command points from the Americans. Okay, and initiative goes then to the Germans, and we draw our card. So the Germans are gonna draw from the morale deck, and they go to ground, which lets them conceal 2 units. Americans draw from the command deck, and they draw cut communications, but they don't have any command points, so they're not going to be able to use that. We go to the status phase, or we actually already did that. That's where we draw the cards, and we start removing these many tokens. So this is going to be interesting to see if the Americans can recover. They took really heavy fire from all of those mortars. So and now the Germans get to act first with 3 squads. So first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to fire with this squad, and he will use supportive fire by this squad. We will fire at this tank here. So his fire value is for his 4, it's 3 standard 1 officer, that's 4, plus 3 from the anti-tank token, so that's 7. And then he uses support from this guy who has is identical in the value, so rounded down, or half of that rounded up is 4. So we now have 11 points. And then we have take down the beast. So when combining fire against a heavy vehicle, you may discard this card to gain 3 additional firepower. So we discard that card, and we get 3 more dice. So this attack is against this Sherman. So we do 4 hits. That is enough to kill him, unless he managed to roll a defense. And he has 4 defense dice, of course, since he has 4 in armor. And he rolls, wow, 2 defense dice. That's really well done. So he is only lightly damaged from that. That is my first action. For my second action, I will fire with this infantry squad, who has the same. That's 3 regular infantry, 1 officer with the anti-tank token. And he will roll 7 dice, and he will attack the lightly damaged Sherman. He rolls 2 hits, and the Sherman who's lightly damaged will roll 3 defensive dice. And he does not manage to defend, so that lightly damaged Sherman is now heavily damaged. It's a big problem because those guys are now blocking the entrance, and I only have 2 Shermans left. For my last order, I am going to use my mortar to do a standard attack with 4 dice against this hex area attack, which has 2 Shermans and 1 infantry squad. And we managed to roll 1 hit, so this squad here takes 1 hit. And then the Shermans will roll 4 defense dice each. So first Sherman manages to defend with 4 out of 4. Second Sherman defends with 3 out of 4. So, okay, that mortar attack was not as good as the one we saw last time. Okay, so the Americans now, I'm feeling it's going to be really hard for them to get away from this situation. This one is not concealed anymore since he attacked. Let's see here. I am going to keep trying to take these guys out. So let's use this Sherman. He will fire with 6 dice. He will get the help of his friend here next to him to get 3 more dice. And let's see, I think I'm not gonna use too many dice here, because then it's gonna just be problematic to take out the next guys. But I am gonna use supporting fire from these half tracks, 1, 2, 3, 4, just because they have a good range. So that gives me 4 more dice. So that's my first action. We roll on that squad, hitting on 5 and 6. And it's looking pretty good. We got enough hits to kill him, since 6 hits, even if he rolls 2 defenses, he's going to be dead. So that squad is now taken care of. 2 more actions. I am attacking with this squad onto this anti-tank. So he will roll 4 dice. He will use support from these 2 half tracks. So that's going to be 4 more dice. And then we will use the support of this infantry squad. That's 2 more dice. And finally, this infantry squad. See here, 1, 2, 3. That's 2 more dice. That's 3 of them. Half rounded up is 2. And I think that's going to be it for now. We roll and see what happens. We target this squad. And again, we roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 hits. He gets 2 defense here in the forest. Even if he rolls 2 defenses successfully, he's killed. Okay, so that was my second action. And for my third action, see what I want to do. We have one last anti-tank there that we want to take care of. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can fire with the half track. He gets 4 dice. And he will get support from this half track for 2 more dice. And that's gonna be it. So that's my last action. Firing with a total of 6 dice on the last anti-tank squad. And we roll 2 hits. They will have 2 defense. And they roll no defense, so they lose 2 of their soldiers. Okay. And then it's back to the Germans. So with the Germans, I'm accidentally removed the opportunity fire from these machine guns. Let's see here. With the Germans, I am going to... I'll activate... This infantry are going to run up 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one will do the same. 1, 2, 3. Can I just stay ready to push out? Maybe retake some trenches. And then finally we have the mortar here, who is going to fire area attack, normal attack against this squad. They will hit on a roll of 6, since that's again going to be long range. And they score no hits. So we go back to the Americans, and the Americans are going to fire with these 3 tanks they have, 1 each. So they are heavily damaged, so they get half of their fire value, so they will get only 3 dice. So they will fire at this anti-tank squad. We start with this one, he fires 3 dice. We hit with 2, they get 2 defense. They don't manage to defend, so they are now killed. Okay, so we have taken out all of the anti-tank squads here, but we only have 2 tanks left. So this guy is going to attack the machine gun up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are within distance. And he, just like the other, is heavily damaged. He attacks only with 3 dice. He scores no hits. And for my last action, I am going to activate that Sherman. He will also fire at that machine gun. He rolls 3 dice, 1 hit, he gets 2 defense, and he manages to defend. So, that's it. We go back to the Germans, and they have... I didn't put these out, but yeah, they activated all the units, but now they have a chance to use some of their command cards, so they're going to use the sniper card, choose an enemy squad within line of sight, to a friendly unit, roll 3 dice, and a roll of 6, destroy 1 figure of your choice. So that's going to cost them 1 command. They have 5, so they get 4 command points back. The card is discarded. And let's see, we roll 3 dice. So we will attempt to attack this squadron here. And we roll 1, 6. So I will decide to kill his officer. 3 standard infantry remains now in that squad. And see, we have 1 more action we can take. Well, we have go to ground cards, and I don't see it as beneficial here to conceal any of my units, so I simply end my turn. And it goes back to the Americans, and we have a few guys here we can still activate. We have this guy who can move into the forest, and this is going to be he's going to be able to take opportunity fire, or sorry, he's going to move into the lake or whatever, shallow stream. This guy is going to be able to take opportunity fire, but these guys are not because they're on a hill. So remember that one hex behind blocking terrain is blocked, so they can't see him, but these guys can. So for the German machine gun, they have a range of 5, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And actually, this is going to be blocking terrain for him too. So this guy is not going to take any opportunity fire. So he moves in 1, 2 points there, and then 3, 4 to move into the forest. And I think that's the last one we have. We have this guy who haven't activated. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe his line of sight is blocked to that hex. We can check. Nope, it's not. It just looks like that because he's kind of not standing centralized on the hex. So he's going to fire at the machine gun with 4 dice. That's a long range attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He has a range of 4. So he will hit on a roll of 6, but he does not hit. Okay, so that's the end. Forgot to do this last turn, as always. So that's the end of the second round's action phase. We go to the command phase. There is no new captured objectives. So the Germans again receive 6 command points. And they will spend 1 on initiative. Then they only have action phase cards, so they have nothing to buy. The Americans, they still don't have any command points, so they don't buy anything. So we go to the status phase now. Initiative stays with the Germans since they spent 1 point on their initiative card. The Germans draw a command deck card, and they draw cut down communications, which is a plus, so we should get another one. Rapid mobilization, and the Germans draw ground support. They draw anti-air support, which has that plus, and then they get reconnaissance. So none of these cards are going to be useful to the Germans at this time. Okay, so that's going to be it. We start removing tokens. I think this is going to be hard for any side to win, but it's looking like the Germans might actually win if they can just stop the Americans from entering that hex, because remember, they can only enter that hex with half track or infantry. They might actually win this. So we got all of the counters off, and we enter now round 3 out of 6. So the Germans start again, and they are gonna open up with their mortars. That's the last thing I have now that I can use to damage the enemy tanks with, unless I want to go to close range. So first mortars will fire 4 dice at this hex, and they score 1 hit. So 1 infantry is killed in that squad. And then the tanks will roll 4 defense dice each, and first one does not manage to defend, so he's lightly damaged. And second Sherman, he rolls 4 defense dice, so he certainly does not take any hit. Second attack, we do the same thing with this mortar squad, but we only hit on a roll of 6. So we hit once, so that goes the last regular infantry, only 1 officer left in that squad. First Sherman rolls 3 defensive dice, and he managed to roll 1 defense, so he blocks, and second Sherman rolls 4. And he managed to roll no defense, so we no longer have any Sherman without damage. All of them are either heavily damaged or lightly damaged. Okay, so I gotta think carefully now what I want to do with the Germans. I don't have a lot of units left either, but if I can get my forces to take out these last guys, I'm probably going to be able to secure that bridge. So for my last action, I am going to take this squad and move 1, 2, 3, and 4 into the entrenchment. And then we go to the Americans, who will get free actions. And the question is what the hell I can do with this situation. It's not good. It's not good at all. I can't stick my nose out with the infantry because I have 3 machine guns covering this area. So it's well, I can attempt to move up with one of my half tracks. So 1, 2, 3, and that's going to be fire and movement. So he's going to have to take opportunity fire now from 2 machine guns, and the machine guns have an anti-tank value of 2 with a range of 3. So 1, 2, 3. So that's long range, but they get 4 dice hit on a roll of 6. And actually it should have been 3 dice, so I'm going to re-roll that, because again with the opportunity fire you can only fire once at each unit, even if you have several units in opportunity fire. And if you want to use, so this one has no line of sight due to the buildings, and this one same due to this building and being too far away. But these 2 guys have line of sight and they're within range. So then I would say that, okay, this guy leads the attack, so he has an anti-tank value of 2. So he will get 2 dice, and then this guy will support, so he gets half of that, which is 1, so it will be 3 dice. So I reroll, and we hit better this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, so we only hit a roll of 6 since their anti-tank range is 3. He will roll 1 defense since he has 1 armor, and he does not manage to defend. He gets a light damage, which would have been the same result even actually with 1 successful die. Okay, so he does a fire and movement, so he's going to fire. He's going to fire 2 dice at that machine gun squad that fired at him. And he rolls a 1 and a 2. Great. Okay, I'm really uncertain how I'm going to be able to do this. These Shermans, the range is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they can actually reach, I think. No, the range is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need to get rid of these heavily damaged ones, but there's no way for me to do that. Well, kind of in a very bad situation here. I guess, I mean, we have quite a few rounds left, so I can waste a few actions then. So I'll do this. The Shermans have a range of 5, and so does the half tracks. So all of these have range, it's just that it's going to be long range. So I'll fire with this Sherman at the machine guns, and that is going to give me 6 dice. And then I use support from this half track. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he gets 2 more dice for the attack. And then I use the support of this squad. Let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's also within long range for 2 more dice. Let's see here. I should put out my fatigue tokens. Otherwise, I'm simply gonna forget who has been supporting or not. So he attacks. He gets 6 dice. He used the support of the half tracks. That's gonna be 2 dice. He used the support of them. That's gonna be 2 more dice. And then he will use the support of, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This squad, it's 2 more dice. And finally, he will use the support of this half tracks. That's, again, 2 more dice. So this is my attack against that German machine gun up there. 0 hits. Not a single hit. Okay. Next up, we got this Sherman who is going to attack with 6 dice. And he will use the support of, let's see here, this infantry squad, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, to get 1 die. And then he will use support of this half track to get 2 dice. This half track to get 2 more dice. And finally, this half track they get 2 more dice. So keep in mind now that it's a long range attack for everyone, so only hits on 6s. And we roll 1, 2, 3 hits. He will have 2 defense. I pray that he's not going to be able to defend. Oh man, he does not. So we managed to take out that machine gun. I'm still not celebrating here because I just lost so much for the Americans. So I feel like it's going to be pretty hard for them to turn this around. But we'll see. It is the turn of the Germans, and they are going to have to do something here to stop them, to stop the Americans. So I think I will do a fire and movement with this squad. They will fire 2 dice at that half track, and they don't manage to hit. I do the same thing with this squad, and they will fire also 2 die. Keep in mind it's close assault, so they hit on a 4, 5, or 6. They do 2 hits. The half track will have 1 defense from being on a bridge though, and it doesn't manage to defend, so it's now heavily damaged. Unfortunately, that is not enough to bring him down. I have 1 more squad up here, and he's 1, 2, 3, 4 away, so he can actually fire. So he's gonna fire 2, and he's going to fire with 4 dice, hitting on a 5 or 6. And look at that, he hits 3 times, so he rolls his 1 defense and does not manage to defend, so the half track is killed. So I just did that with the Germans just to stop the Americans from gaining that point. So hopefully I can hold out and then capture the bridge so that the Americans are not going to be able to win this. Okay, that's it. That's actually going to be my last order for the Germans. They don't have, let's see here, no, they don't have any cards I want to use. So I just simply pass now for the Germans. We go to the Americans, and they have, let's see here, they have their damaged tanks left they can fire with. So they are going to fire on this squad with elites with 3 dice. That's 1 hit. We remove 1 standard infantry. And then next Sherman fires at the same squad. 0 hits. And final Sherman fires. Again, 0 hits. I'm rolling so badly for the Americans. We have 2 more squads up here we can use. I'm going to move this one here. It's going to be blocked from line of sight due to 1 hex being hidden. They're on a hill. And then 3, 4 in there. And now the question is what I want to do, because I can move here, but I'm still going to have to take opportunity fire from this machine gun. So I think I'll move in 1, 2. Let's see here. Yeah, let's just move in 3, 4. So he's going to have to take opportunity fire. Or actually, let's see here. Yep, he's going to, only 1 hex is blocked behind here. So he will fire, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So his range is 5. So it's going to be a long range attack. He will fire with, I think, 4 dice. Since he's a German, let's see here. Yeah, 4 dice. And he hits with 1, but they get 2 defense being in a woods. And they manage to defend, so no damage. Okay. Sometimes opportunity fire can be really hard on morale. Like you kind of, you fear it so much that you fear it more than it deserves to be feared. As you saw, it didn't do any damage there, so it could have, of course, but it didn't. Okay, so that's going to be the end of this action phase. There is no one capturing any objective here, so we're going to gain some points. Germans gain 6 more command points from having those objectives, and they will not buy anything. These are all action phase cards. So Americans, they don't have any command. It stays with the Germans. They have 1 command point on their initiative card. So we go to the status phase. They draw a morale card, which is preparations. Immediately end your action turn or remove an opportunity fire token from one of your units. And for our Americans, we draw from the command deck, but we can't use it, so it just doesn't matter. And actually, the Germans get 1 more card since they get take cover, since they drew a card with that plus sign on it, the red cross. Okay, and that's the end. We're going to start removing tokens, and the Germans are going to remove the opportunity fire token from this machine gun, as they are now going to plan to move that machine gun up. And maybe I'll do the same with this guy. Just want to move up to that bridge and try to make sure that the Americans can't capture the bridge. This has been a very boring scenario for the Americans. It just feels like I haven't been able to do anything just because I'm pushed into that corner. Okay, so now we gotta take a little bit care here with our Germans. We have 3 actions. This is round 4 out of 6. So these guys can still kill them. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do something here, which I think is the only chance of winning with the Germans. I am gonna do a fire and movement into this hex. So 1, 2. Just to hope I can survive here. And they might still kill someone, so they do a fire and movement. They will attack with 2 dice to this infantry squad here. Or let's do this commander back here. A normal attack, 2 dice. And they score 1 hit. He has no defense, so he is killed. And then second action, I move in with the next squad, fire and movement. That's 2 elites, 1 standard, so that's 5 dice. That turns into 3, half of it rounded up. And with those 3 dice, I attack this infantry squad. And I score no hits. And then I do the same with this guy, who consists of 4 standard infantry. So they will get 2 dice, and they will also attack that squad. And they score 1 hit, so 1 is removed. Okay, and then it is the turn of the Americans. So question is now how I'm going to be able to kill all of these guys. Let's start with the heavily damaged tanks. They attack with 3 dice, and we start with the squad here that has 2 elites. That's going to be 1 hit, since we hit on a 4, since it's close combat, so they lose 1 standard. And next heavily damaged Sherman, and he scores 2 hits, so that squad is wiped out. And then we attack with this heavily damaged Sherman. We do this squad. Oh, they should have gotten 1 defense since they're on a bridge. So first one is a successful defense, and second one is not. So that squad goes back with 1 soldier. Yeah, I forgot the defense of 1s when you're standing on a bridge. Final Sherman attacks 3 dice to that squad there that we wiped out, and he rolls 2 hits. He can only defend with 1, so he's guaranteed to be killed in action. Okay, so let's see here. Trying to put these so that you can see easily who belongs to who. That's my 3 actions. We go back to the Germans, and of course we're gonna start firing with our mortars again. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move closer with this one instead of firing. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I will fire with this mortar. I will fire at, let's see here, I'm going to fire at this these tanks with 4 dice. Hit on a 5 or 6. And we hit 2 times. They get 3 defense each. So that's 1 defense, sorry, 2 defense. So he managed to block the first one, and the second Sherman, he rolls only 1, so he becomes now heavily damaged. It's really bad. Got 1 more action to do with the Germans, and I am going to move 1 out, 2, 3, 4 to be ready to support the bridge. We got the Americans again, and this time I am going to fire with this heavily damaged Sherman 3 dice on this squad. And I hit with 3. He gets 1 defense, and he does not manage to defend, so he loses all but 3 of these soldiers. And then we activate these 2 infantrymen who shoots with 2 dice at that damage squad. And they roll 2 hits, so he only has 1 defense, so he's guaranteed to die. Okay, good job, guys. Now we only have 1 more squad there, so we activate this Sherman. He's going to attack with 6 dice on the squad that stands on the bridge. And he scores no hits, not a single hit. That's my actions for the Germans and for the Americans. From the Germans. So I'm gonna use, let's see here. I'm gonna use preparations. So immediately end your action turn or remove an opportunity fire token from one of your units. So I use that to remove the opportunity fire from the. No, I wanna keep it. I feel like that's what's keeping them back, so I don't want to use that. Okay, so we are gonna move up our machine guns. This is guys gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4, and this guy is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's it for the Germans. They have activated all the units, so we go back to the Americans. We're gonna keep firing on these guys on the bridge. We don't want them to capture the bridge. At least we want this to be a draw. So they fire with 4 dice. 2, 3, yep. And we score 1 hit. They have 1 defense. And they manage defense with 1. I activate the half tracks, which also fire with 4 dice. And we score 1 hit. They get 1 defense. And they manage to defend. Next half track. 4 dice. No hit. Next half track. 4 dice. And they score 2 hits. He has 1 defense. And he does manage to defend. So only 1 is killed. This is going to be a tough one. Okay, so we have 1 half track left, who is gonna fire with 4 dice. He scores no bloody hit. Yes, incredible, man. Okay, so we got 2 squads left here who can act. Let's see here. I've activated this and this. I'm unsure about so many of these activation tokens when they're all bunched up, but I'm pretty sure I've activated both of these Sherman tanks. And let's see here. This one doesn't have an activation token, but I'm fairly certain I used fire with him. But we have these 2 guys left, so this guy is going to fire 1, 2, 3. He's going to fire with 4 dice. And he rolls 1 hit. They have 1 defense. And they don't manage to defend. So now I have one last thing I can do, and that is I can move and fire. I move with this. I have to take opportunity fire from the machine gun up here. So he is on a hill, so we don't block line of sight with this. His range is 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He will fire 4 dice, only hitting on a roll of 6 though. And he does not manage to hit. So I fire with these half their fire value, which will be 2. I really hope I can kill him now. Ah! Roll a 1 and a 2. Okay, that's the end of the 5th action phase. We go to the command phase, and yeah, the Germans capture the last objective, and they also capture that command point. So the Germans are going to receive 10 command points now. Yes, you heard that right, 10. Americans are still at 0. And we go to the status phase. Let's see first if they want to buy any of these cards. Take cover would be very helpful, so they're going to buy take cover for 2 action points. And take cover once per action turn. When one of your fresh units is attacked, you may place an activation token on this card to give the unit 2 additional cover for this attack. So that's going to be very helpful for them. And that's going to be the only card that they purchase at this time. And the Americans, of course, they don't purchase any cards because they don't have command. Germans keep the initiative with their 1 command point on that card. So go to the status phase, and Americans draw heroic leadership, which has a plus, so they also get major offense. And the Germans draw morale card, rally cry. And that's it. We start removing these tokens. So I think this is, I mean, it's impossible to get an American victory, of course, but they might be able to make it into a draw. We'll see. Okay, so we have 3 actions now with the Germans. I am going to fire with the mortars at these tanks with 4 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they are going to hit on a 5 or 6. Let's see if that's the smartest move, though. Maybe I ought to fire at this. I fire at this hex instead. I get 1 hit, so one of these infantry soldiers are killed. And then the tanks will roll 3 defense each. First tank does not manage to defend, so he goes from heavily damaged to destroyed. And second tank rolls no defense either, so he also goes from heavily damaged to destroyed. Okay, those mortars, man, they have been very lucky. We have 1 more mortar unit to activate, and we are going to fire on the next tank hex here. So we fire with 4 dice. We score 2 hits. They have 3 defense each. First we roll for the heavy damage one. He rolls 1 defense, so he is destroyed by that 1 hit. And then we have the next guy here who rolls 3 defense. He rolls 1 defense, so he goes from lightly damaged to heavily damaged. Again, against the vehicle, 1 or 2 hits if it's an undamaged vehicle. 1 or 2 hits makes him lightly damaged. 3 hits, he's heavily damaged. 4 hits, he's destroyed. If he's already lightly damaged, 1 or 2 hits, they will do the same. He will become heavily damaged. And 3 hits or more, he's destroyed. And if it's a heavily damaged vehicle, 1 hit will always destroy it. 1 hit or more hits. Okay, so that's my second action. Now I have 1 action left. I am going to fire with this infantry squad. He will fire 1 on him, and he will get a hit on a 4, 5, or 6. He rolls a 6, so he manages to take out that squad. Well, we have soon annihilated the Americans. Okay, we are going to go back to the Americans. And I am not sure what to do here. I am going to try to take out that last machine gun. That's kind of what's stopping me right now. So I'll use this half-track who will get 4 dice. And he will use the support of these 2 half-tracks for 4 more dice. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This half-track for 2 more dice. And these infantry soldiers for 2 more dice. So that's an attack I do against this machine gun. I could even use these 2 fellas to get 4 more dice. Just because I need to kill that machine gun. There's no other way out of this. So we'll use this. And I only hit on a roll of 6. We get 3 6s. He will get, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he will get 2 defense. And he rolls 2 defense, so he takes 1 little hit. Wow. Okay, so we have 2 more actions. And I am going to use this heavily damaged Sherman to fire 3 dice at that soldier. We hit once. He has 1 defense. And he does not manage to defend, so he's dead. And then I will use the next heavily damaged Sherman to fire 3 dice at that soldier. And he hits 3 dice. I want to use the take cover, and you should actually say that before. I just forgot. Play your play area once per action turn. When one of your fresh units is attacked, you may place an activation token on this card to give the unit 2 additional cover. So he will get 2 cover. Remember, you should say that before the attack. I simply forgot. In this case, it didn't change anything because he didn't get any defense. So he loses 2. I don't remember if it was 2 or 3, to be honest, hits, but whatever. Okay, so that's it for the Americans. Now only the Germans remain. I am going to move this machine gun 2, 3, 4 into that emplacement, and this machine gun is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 in this area, and finally this squad is doing a fire and movement into this hex, and he will fire at this infantry squad with 4 dice, which turns into 2 since he's elite infantry, and he hits with 1 die. Okay, and that is the end of action turn 4. So actually that has to be 5. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop the recording to look, but yeah, this is so annoying. I so often forget to move that marker. We're up at 1 hour, so I'm pretty sure it should be round 5. Yeah, it's supposed to be round 5. I simply forgot to do that last status phase. Okay, so this is the end of the action phase of round 5. We go now to the last phase. So we draw strategy cards, or first we decide if they want to buy something, and not really gonna be useful, any of these. Rally Cry might be useful, so I buy that for 2 command points. And then, of course, we gain 10 command points, which is, we don't really need it because we don't have anything that we can spend it on. For Americans, they still don't get any command points, and initiative stays with the Germans since they have that 1 command point on the initiative card. And that's going to be it. We remove our activation tokens. It's looking pretty grim for the Americans, to say the least. There's no way that they are going to be able to win, of course, but again, they might somehow turn this into a draw. So we go now to the last round of the game. This is round 6. Germans start, and with the Germans, I want to use my mortars to do a suppressive attack this time against this squad up here. Also with the Germans, I want to put these into opportunity fire. I should have done that in the status phase, but I do it now. So I have 8 dice for that attack. Let's say I don't put this guy in opportunity fire. So I have 8 dice attacking the Americans with suppressive fire. And I roll 1, 2 hits. They will have 2 defense each. First squads roll 1 defense, and he is going to be pinned. Second squad rolls 1 defense, and he's also going to be pinned. I have 1 more mortar that I want to use. So he is going to fire. Also suppressive fire at this squad, 8 dice. And he scores 3 hits. So that's gonna be a squad that's not routed, but disrupted since they have no defense. Oh, they actually have an officer, so 1 defense. And he does not manage to defend, so that's still a disrupted squad. Okay, so let's see here. We have 1 more action. And I am going to move in the machine gun into this area, and that's gonna be, wait, let's do this. I'll fire first with him. He will, there's no point, he can't reach because he doesn't have an AT gun, so I simply move in with the machine gun. So we have the Americans, and they really only have one chance now to stop these guys. I fire with the heavily damaged Sherman at that first squad with 3 dice. We score 3 hits, so they are going to roll 1 defense, and they don't manage to defend, so that squad is killed. And then we have the next Sherman, and he's going to attack with 3 dice, this machine gun squad, and now the Germans are going to take cover with this, so they get 2 defense plus. He hits with 0 dice. And then we have our half-track, who is going to use 4 dice. He's going to use 4 dice, and he is going to have support. So he is going to have support by this half-track for 2 more dice, and this half-track for 2 more dice, and finally this half-track for 2 more dice. And all of them are firing at normal range, so a 5 or 6 will hit. So the idea here is that if I manage to kill him now, I have 1 less half-track that I will move in with, because remember, it's only heavy vehicles that can't stay on the bridge. So that half-track, if he survives the opportunity fire from these 2 machine guns, I can turn it into a draw instead of losing. But it all hangs on the fact if I can take out that machine gun squad now or not. So 5 and 6 is hits. Looking pretty good. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. This machine gun is going to have 1 defense, so even if he rolls that defense, he's killed. So for my last action, I will activate this last unit I have. He will move 1, 2, 3, and he is going to take opportunity fire from this machine gun, and the machine gun is going to use 3 dice, and the machine gun is, he's going to use 2 dice, and the machine gun is going to get supporting fire 1 die from this guy. So I don't think it's going to be enough to take him out, or actually it's not going to be enough. They do 1 hit. He will have 2 defense, 1 from his armor, 1 from the bridge, and he manages to roll a defense. And that's it, guys, because that's the last action of the Americans. And now for the Germans, they have no units left to activate. They only have 4 units left, so they're almost dead, but they really managed to hang on. So well done for them. So this is going to be the end now. We go to the command phase, determine control, and now finally, after so much struggling, we have captured the bridge with that half-track. So what does that do? Well, that means that, again, we read the victory point scenario here. At the end of turn 6, each side gains 5 victory points for each bridge that they control. So that means that the Americans gain 5 victory points and the Germans gain 5 victory points. No one gains any additional victory points. The other way to do that was if the Americans used artillery cards, which of course they were not stupid enough to do. I guess one thing is that, say they use 5 artillery cards, and that will gain them, they will lose 10 VP, and maybe those 5 artillery cards would be enough for the Germans to break this, siege and get to the bridge. But I just don't believe that would make such a difference. I don't even have trucks. If I at least had trucks that could, get all the way over here using the road hexes, because that would be like 1 movement point, 2, 3, 4. So they would need at least 2 turns to get over here. But then it would be a little bit more plausible. But as it is now with the scenario, I just feel like I'm having a really hard time seeing that this is going to end in anything else than a draw. So yeah, I gotta say it wasn't the most fun scenario. Basically, the Americans were stuck in a corner, and the Germans were just... It was more fun as the Germans, because with the Germans, you really had to come up with some clever tactics to defend and how to distribute your forces. You saw how I had my guys back here and finally figure out, okay, the Americans are not going to be able to push through. Let's get them to the front. And then that last push to try to hold the bridge using the take cover card, but I didn't manage to roll any defense. So that was really interesting and fun, but I can imagine as the American player, this is going to be extremely frustrating, and I just don't see it as, you know, ever feeling tempted to use one of these artillery cards, because, you know, you use the best card here and you get, which is going to be the offensive artillery, I reckon, and that's going to give you 5 attack dice. So I mean, as an area attack, of course, you could use it here, but 5 attack dice here, if you go ahead and roll it, now maybe it's just going to be hits. But yeah, we see those attack dice. We have 2 hits with that attack. And then they get 2 defense. So first one, he managed to defend, he takes 1 hit. Second squad managed to defend 2, so he takes no hits. And last does not manage to defend, so he takes 2 hits. So we took out of all of these 3 squads, we only took 3 guys out, and that's up to 12 soldiers. So I mean, how is that really going to help me? And I mean, that's also if it doesn't drift, because it has a big chance of drifting, especially when you're so far away. It's going to have a very high chance of drifting and maybe even going off into your direction. So yeah. Well, guys, I hope that you enjoyed watching it. Geneva Convention. Next playthrough, we're going to do the last Fantasy Flight bonus scenario, which is called, let me check. I have to check. It's not Blood on the Mountain. It's Road to Ruin. So it's also going to be one big map. It's going to be actually a 12 map panel map. So a really big map. And hopefully that's going to be a little bit more balanced than this. And again, I'm not sure. Maybe this game is balanced. It's just that I really suck at playing the Americans. That might also be the case. Please let me know, what would you have done differently with the Americans? Would you have been more... would you have fired less and just went in to rush them, or what would you have done? That would be interesting to hear. Guys, don't forget to like the video and comment on the video. That really helps me out a lot. Subscribe so you don't miss out on more content. And of course, if you want to support me a little bit extra, you can do a one-time donation with PayPal or YouTube Super Thanks, or become a supporting member of the channel for $2.99 US a month. Okay, guys, as always, thank you for watching. See you next time.